Okay, so I have to try to figure out. I'm gonna do the ice line, frost line, whatever it's called. I have to figure out how I'm gonna style this because these magic abilities are really hard to do the shaders for. I have one idea. I think I'd like my two options are kind of basically I can either do some transparent trails, which are also really hard to do because they're transparent, or I can do a bunch of spiky particles. But that's hard to do because it's solid objects with shapes. But I think I'm gonna try for that option anyways. I don't know. Hang on. I want to check something. I want to check this real quick. Okay, that should be fine. Test. Okay. That's not good. I didn't see it. How many more points do you have to waste on that, Google? It should, that is a custom reward. It should have printed it. I did it. No, I know. I know. It didn't show up in my bot. User command message flags extra. Let me try this again. Can you try again? You try again. My microphone. Test. Hello. No. Can you try to time out someone else again? It. Okay. Huh. It's on command. Maybe that's why. Okay, this is good. Good debugging. I don't know what this thing has available to it. Hang on. Comfy.js. Messages. There's an ad playing it again. We're trying to do. I have this thing, this library, which you can't see on stream. Hang on. There's on message, on chat. That's what I need. Probably. On chat. There is a thing, a library called Comfy.js that somehow connects to Twitch chat without authentication. All right, can you try it again? I don't know how it does this because this is not supported by Twitch API as far as I know. And so I should be able to just see, I don't want to actually authenticate ever. So I should just be able to use this to listen to when things happen for a to-do list, but then Oh, that one worked. Let's see. I'm looking at the thing on. Good. Maybe I can. I'm just gonna screenshot this for now so I have it for later. Whoa. The message type is chat. The custom reward ID does exist, and then you have a display name and you have a. Why don't I see your message? Oh, I see it. Okay, very good. Well, that's all I wanted. It won't work until tonight, but I figured out how to do this really, really easily. Okay, thanks. It's better if it worked. I have to accept it? I have to accept your refund even though you're a mod? I don't know where that is. Okay, well. You're not getting refunded then until I figure it out off stream. So all right, back to actual development. Okay, that's all. Back to actual development. Close this. Close this. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for which one of these? This. Shoot snowflake. So it's supposed to be like a line. It shoots fast. Chills enemies, does a little bit of damage, and if they're already chilled, it freezes them. So actually, I don't think this would make sense for this to be solid. It has to be transparent. Like, yeah. This is potentially really hard to make. I think I do want it to be a line of chill, not anything solid. Solid would imply a lot of damage, which I don't think it is. So, okay. The ways to do it then, if I'm making it transparent, are I can have one solid line, like the priest, and shader it. Or a bunch of things. I think the answer is I want a bunch of... It's gonna look so bad, I fucking know. I could... No, I can't really write into the depth. I guess I'm just gonna start making it. I know it's gonna look bad. Oh man, I know it's gonna look bad. It's so depressing to just start making it when I don't really know how. Like, I have to have a lot of particles. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna start watching 1 hour when this ability is done, how bad this looks. Alright, let's get to it. I already have the thing set up to actually make the ability, so I just have to make the manager for it, which this is not that far off. It's called a frost line, I think. It doesn't say. Frostbind. Frostbind manager. It's bolt. Well, none of this really exists anymore. It's not a projectile. Yeah, I guess it's not a projectile. None of this. I think no goblin. Just a time, position, direction probably is right. I feel sick today. So releasing the frostbite. So this is where it actually happens. And it's an instant cast ability, but it does not happen instantly. Okay, yeah. Let me look at it in game real quick. Which one is this? I think it's just instant right click. Oh, wrong class. That. So it happens really... Okay, that comes back too fast actually, doesn't it? That comes back pretty fast though. I didn't even adjust it. I think it has to be here. Where did I add the ice bolt? Okay, so I added the ice bolt down here, so that is weird, but I see why I did that, I remember. We'll do the same thing. If it is a client goblin, and the next delta time is greater than the thing, and the previous delta time is less than the thing, okay. Do almost the same thing. What is he? I think it's his staff though this time. Get Frost Mage staff position. Height offset. That's fine. Get his target. It's kind of weird. If you have a target, it's going to provide you some arbitrary center of that target. I wonder if maybe this thing should accept a height offset, which can be maybe 0. Oh, it just returns his actual position. I did not know that. That's good too. So no matter what, you add this. Same for this guy. That should do it. I'll do this one correctly, so this way. And it's gonna be basically instant. I wonder. This is not actually totally instant, so yeah, it's kind of weird because the ability happens instantly, but I think I have to continue drawing particles. For now, I'm just going to give it a start position. So I'll give it like just a position. And yeah, I guess just a direction. That's it. Position. Position. So this is kind of where I have to do it, and I guess it has to have a start. Then I guess this needs like a duration. Which is not very long at all. And I guess I'll have to update it. Shouldn't remove. Now the particle system. AU stance. My allergies are really fucking me up today, so I don't know how long I'm gonna actually stream. Maybe at normal time. I think this is just gonna get added into the transparent particle system, actually. I haven't used this thing in forever. I actually really hate this thing. Because it has all these things right here, and these are all these GPU particle attributes, and they all mean different things to different particles, which makes this horrible. And I don't think GLSL gives you a way to organize it. So this is a Frostbind particle CPU, I guess. I don't know what any of this is really anymore. I should have a particles. There we go. Let me just take one of these. Is this really right? Yeah, I guess so. Frost. Is that what it's called? Frostbind particle CPU. Has a destroy value, it has a start value, it has a duration, the position, the velocity, maybe even the duration. All that's on the GPU. Okay. Great Frostbind particle. Direction and time, I guess. Shouldn't time be first? Seems like it to me. It's the parent particle. Okay. I guess Must be particle duration or something. What's a good time? Maybe 800. Yeah, for now I won't have this. Destroy is time minus start. Okay. Position, and then your velocity gets updated by your position. Okay, so then also I need... This is why I hate this file. Like, where does this exist in the GPU? I get a particle speed. I'm guessing at a speed. Probably too fast. Should it slow down? I don't think so. So let's look at the actual GPU definition. It has a main position and a position. I think I typically just use the position for things. Like for this. Okay, so for this one, the main position is a color. I hate this file. I hate this file. I hate this file. But the position is actually the position, so yeah, this is all I have to do. It does need an opacity. Oh, it's so ugly. Okay, let's just continue with this and get it rendering something. This is a frostbite particle. And then I think I'm not done in the generic particle system. This has to update. Frostbind. Yep. You know, I could actually union the GPU. That would be an entire whole nother day distraction again. I don't even really know how I do it. I think I just have like A vector 4, B vector 4, C vector 4, and then yeah, I'd have something like that. I think it would just, oh, I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of weird because my particle attribute generation code is not set up for everything to be a union. You can, in fact, nothing is allowed to be a union. I could do that though, but let me make a note so I don't forget. Basically, this isn't even where it is anymore, is it? No. It's in the model instance. Instance model. Okay, generic instance model. Should probably be one file. So it's this, way down here. I just want to make a little note here. What I could do is allow everything to be a union. And the first union type is what's used, and enforce that the first union type is at least the same, how would I word this? Is the largest size of all the union types. Or rather, that the first union type nothing would be allowed to be not a union. The first union type is what's used, and the first union type is as large as the struct size itself. Would be the benefit of changing it? I assume that's memory usage. No, the memory usage would be the same because everything right now is in union. Or no. Everything right now is not a union, but everything right... So this is the GPU. This is the generic GPU particle. So it has all this random shit. Like type is not random. That's the only thing that's not random. So it has a type. It has a main position and a position. So for example, if I look at the fireball particle, this main position is the position of its body. Like that's good to do. The position is the position of the particle itself. So, okay, just to keep it really simple, this is a position, this is a position. When I go back to the blood particle, or what's the one that's weird? The door. And the door particle, the main position is a color. The position is a position. So the reason is basically because these are just attributes on the GPU, and all of these particles have to be in the same pass so they can be depth sorted against each other, so they don't cut each other off with depth testing and depth writing and whatever. So all these names are completely meaningless. Basically, every particle has its own need for its own data structure, and all of the data structures are just getting crammed into these values. So it makes it extremely confusing when you're trying to actually do things with the particle logic. Yeah. The benefit is that if I were to do it, everything is a union, it'd be like this. So this is like a similar size struct as this in terms of memory, but you can see everything has its own actual nice definition of what's what. So that would be the benefit. Everything gets to control kind of its own layout of memory, I guess. And then I would just have to respec each particle's individual memory layout in the shader. The shader code would still be kind of messy. I don't really think there's actually a way to fix that at all. But at least it wouldn't be like, right now it's really weird that when you say particle.main position, you're actually accessing the color. Anyways, this should work, I think. I think I'm done, actually. Let me just add them. Yeah, it's probably going to be a slow and maybe long workday for me. Let me just make like 4 particles. So I guess I'll call it GPU. Yeah, no problem. Generic, wait. Is that really what I'm supposed to do? Is this all I guess this is all I can add into there. For I0 GPU count. GPU I, CPU I. Isn't that what it's called? Create frostbind particle. Yes. Time, position, direction. I spelled it wrong. Front. Time, position. I guess this isn't exactly right either, but I can fix it later. I think that's all I do. And then I say particle system, add particles. Generic, transparent, particle system. GPUs. Particles, GPU. Okay. That's not right. That's right. This should add them all. And they should just move forward and look like something. Let me make them look like something. So this, now I need the transparent particle shader. Yeah, look how very awful this is. If view type is less than 28.5. So I want something just really basic and... Oh, does this have to be up here too? No, this looks good to me. Okay, what's like the most basic particle there is? Charging star. That looks really basic. You know, I'm pretty sure there should be no depth rights. Well... Oh, whatever. Okay, I'm actually going to leave it as a charging star because I'm curious what that will look like. Some smooth step is maybe right. It has some opacity. Let's leave it as a white. Okay, let's try it out. Let's figure out why is this not going to render. Time, Frostbite Manager 27. Yeah, that's true. It should... Wait, what? Create... Oh, it's a particle. It's not right. That's true. Just cast it right there. Frostbind particle update. Frostbind particle update. Duration. Frostbind particle 26. Whoops, I already had this then. Time is, yeah, same thing. I guess I'll leave it as it is there. Right. Doesn't do anything. Oh, I'm not actually ever calling this. But let's call it in the gameplay scene. So when you update, I have all my abilities. Frostbind Manager update. Should work, and now render. Render, although... Do I actually need to render this? Well, I don't know. Do you do forward shading with depth prepass to reduce overdraw? No. No, and I think there's no reason to in my situation. I think that is, guessing off the top of my head, probably only beneficial if you're actually doing forward rendering. And you have really complicated fragment shaders. I'm doing deferred rendering, and my fragment shaders are generally not very complicated. There it goes. Nothing happening. So yeah, the reason is... The only thing I think would be beneficial for me doing that is maybe the particles. But that requires 2 particle passes, and but the individual shaders for the actual particles are actually not very complicated. I could see it maybe breaking even, actually. But yeah. I also typically don't have a lot of stacked particles. The only thing I can think of where the particles are really, really stacked is like the Fire Mage staff, where it's drawing like 100 particles to create the fire or something. And you handle transparent stuff and deferred shading? It is forward. The transparent stuff is forward rendering. But yeah, so that's what I was saying. That's the only place I think it might be beneficial is in basically the particles, which are transparent. However, one of the benefits of deferred rendering is that typically your anti-aliasing is not real anti-aliasing. It's like a post-processing anti-aliasing, or maybe with MSAA, which that kind of breaks this logic. But so ignoring MSAA, with post-process anti-aliasing, you can actually just discard fragments, and then it'll get anti-aliased. So that actually makes transparency in terms of edges, that makes really easy. So I actually have a task to go through and update everything in my transparent particle system. In reality, of all these 28 particles or something, there's only like 8 or 5 that are maybe actually transparent, and the rest are just anti-aliased. So I can actually just move all of these into the opaque particle system, which will draw them all and write the depth, so they don't have to be sorted. Sorting my thousands of particles is kind of slow. They don't have to be sorted, and then just discarding the semi-transparent fragments on the edges will result in anti-aliasing. So that would also optimize it a lot. I have to do that really soon. But yeah, so for transparent stuff, I just sort it, and I basically do forward rendering. For transparent stuff in deferred rendering, yeah, you don't do it. So I wanted to check when I'm adding this, what's actually happening. Adding fine particles, and why it's not rendering anything. Wait, that's the wrong ability. It is adding them. This never gets its position updated. That's probably the problem. That, and oh, I'm sure this thing has a bunch of opinions about the names of all the variables. Like, for example, I bet it needs to have a main position. Let's see. This is the A particle position. That is what I care about. It has a particle rotation, which is 0. Yeah, that is 0. Scale. Uh-oh. I guess it has to have a scale. Hey, Vivian. So if it has to have a scale, like, this is another problem with this type of system I have set up. Particle scale. It is reasonable for everything to have a scale now that I think about it. I'm gonna start at the 0.5, which is giant. There we go. All right. Very good. It does indeed look like shit. So let's try to make it look slightly less shitty bit by bit. This is going to be an SDF something. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. I think it's just going to be an SDF circle. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this way. Let's see. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna look so bad. So the particle speed actually has to be like 10 times as fast, which means the duration has to be like nothing at all. Let me not go that extreme. Let's make it 5 times. And so what, that'd be I'm just gonna say 200. That'll be something. And now... Okay. It's gonna have a main position now, so now it uses that field and has a position, and so what actually is happening is I get the progress, which is gonna be clamp something. Yeah, I think so. This 0 and 1. Destroy is just this. And then position. Okay. Position is the starting position, which I'll say is the main position, plus the progress times the velocity. So it's now determined just by some random equation, which I don't know if that's good. Well, basically what I'm trying to do is I want to be able to start the particles either in the future or in the past and have them behave correctly. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I could do that. And this would work. But the other option is I could start them in the past and then clamp the progress, and at 0 progress I don't render them. And I think that might be more reasonable. I think structuring things onto a line is generally not what you want to do. So, okay. It really restricts doing things dynamically in the future if you kind of clamp things to an equation. So I will still have progress, so it's going to be clamp of almost, well, the same thing. And this is also the same thing. How do I handle this? This is not great. I think it could be handled in the create method. Or I could have a real DT. This is kind of weird. The real DT is the time minus start over DT. Wait, no. Yes. The minimum of either this or this. I feel like I'm way overcomplicating it. The minimum of either the actual delta time or the delta time. Wait, that's it. It's done, I think. So when the time is negative, yeah. When the time is negative, it doesn't update the velocity ever. The scale can start out as 0. And I will now say the in progress is progress times, I guess, 10. One minus progress. Will this work? 1 minus progress times 10. I still want to clamp that to 1, and then I can say 1 minus. That'll probably work. And out progress. I can just multiply these together. And now the scale can be and out progress times 0.5. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, I didn't actually use this value. Let's just see what happens first of all. It should fade in, scale in really fast, and then go also move really fast. Okay, I see it way over there for some reason. Interesting. I wonder if it has to do with the scale. Probably somehow. The other problem, I didn't realize this. Let's set the scale up here, 0.5. The other problem is actually when you're rendering it and when you're creating it, your actual time values are different because the rendering step happens in the past. Okay, so it does have to do with the scale. This is what I wanted it to look like. I wonder why this is so incorrect. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. This is gonna be tricky because this particle in particular happens so fast that the interpolation render time of 16 milliseconds is like a non-trivial portion of its duration that it's alive. Fuck. Let's just have this. Like, I'm a lot more confident about this one than this one without actually trying to think about it. Let's see what happens here. I do see it scaling in. You see a little tiny cone. I don't like how transparent-y it looks. I'll have to fix that in a minute. So it scales in. I'm surprised this is not right. The out progress, how does this work? 1 minus progress. I mean, it's not complicated. It's just, yeah, times 10. Get some min value of that in 1. And it's just 1 minus that. Exactly the same thing. What if I just multiply this by out progress? What does that look like? Fuck, man. So that is going now from 1 to 0. When I multiply this by 10, it's basically going from 1 all the way up to 90% through and then down to 0. Oh, so, oh. Wait, that's all I do. Whoops. Okay. Now the very first 10% and very last 10% are going from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. There we go. I don't think ending it on that scale down is necessary, but okay. That works. Now when I create it, I have to create them in the past. So I have to be sure I do this right. It's going to be not really possible to see any bugs, actually. Past offset. So yeah, I never want it to be 1 is the thing. Because that would overlap with the next 1 particle from the next value. So the past offset is this times delta time. So it'll go from 0 to like 0.75 times delta time. So it's just that minus past offset. I think that'll do it. Wait, it's not past offset. If I create it in the past, it's future offset. So that can also just be offset. Okay. So this is the creation time. When I actually render the next time, it's going to be the current time minus the creation time ends up being a negative number. So this is what I want. Okay, look, much more solid line. Nice. That's the result of doing this future past interpolation thing. That actually, you know, doesn't look so bad for what it is so far. I don't know how randomly sometimes it's going into the ground. I guess I went like... I guess I moused into the water. Okay. Not bad so far. I think one of the remaining things, I want to get like the approximate shape correct before I actually go on to graphics of it. So one of the remaining things is I'm pretty sure, not definitely, don't want it to scale out actually. It looks weird. It's kind of antithetical to what you would imagine shooting a frost line at someone does. And the other problem is, okay, I'm gonna Desmos some stuff here, and I'll show this on stream because I think I'm gonna be doing this for a while. Let me go get some water real quick. Yeah. Get some water and a snack real quick, and I'll be right back. Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Valigo, how do you pronounce your name? Verified. I'll fix yeah, I won't do this yet. I am gonna get a snack and I'll be back. Let me make this little guy dance for a minute. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm just eating my thing now. Okay. Hey, it works. How do I want to do this? Basically, the logic is whatever shape pops up on here is gonna be the radius of my frost line as it progresses. So right now, to give you an example, it's x times 10 min of this in 1. That's my current shape of my frost line. Oh, and then across like this. My throat is so fucked up today. Oh my god. Y equals 0. That doesn't help at all. Whatever, you get it. It goes, oh, x. Between here and here. So what I actually want is maybe something like ax is 4 over x plus 4. Wait, that's not right. Huh? Oh, it's not 4, it's like these random values and 1 minus. That looks good, actually. That looks a lot better than I thought it was going to come out looking. Holy fuck. What if I do this? How does that affect it? I couldn't tell. Let's drag this up here. Can I just... I haven't done this before. D is 0.2. Can I do that? I guess. Oh, neat. I do want it to be kind of like curved. Like I want the first little bit where it goes to go like really hard. Okay, 0.1 looks right. Maybe I multiply by x again. So similarly, I could say e is 4, which that might be invalid. How of x to e? Fuck yeah, it doesn't like that. Oh, I guess I have to say, there we go. 4.0? Give me a slider, man. Maybe because it's E. Yeah, it doesn't like E. So this looks okay. That looks too flat in the middle, actually, I'm realizing. Should be something like this. That, and I think this whole thing actually just has to be scaled by like... That's kind of too intense. I think it's right. All right, here's my equation. I wish there was a button you could click to like resolve an equation or something in this. There's not, right? So that equation goes here. Scale equals 1 minus 0.2 over progress plus 0.2. Finally, the song? Is that what you're getting at? You know, I mean, yeah. I need more variety, and I think this part is the actual playlist, and in a couple songs it switches to radio. I need more variety in the playlist to make the radio more unique. So there's this 1 minus 0.2 over progress plus 0.2, and then plus x to the power of 4, which I think would be better. I don't actually know in programming in general when you want to use this versus PAL, but I think this is better maybe. Oh, and well, this is right. That would be in a thing. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Well, see, it does match what I just drew. Okay, music, stop. It's fucking gigantic, though. I was trying to figure out how this game did this. Okay, why does it look so shit right here? I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure just... I could skip the first couple. Hang on, how bad does it look? I think it might be in my best interest to skip the first couple of frames. How would you do that? Like, I don't want to start at a delayed spot, but let me drink more water, mate. I think all the plants and stuff are releasing allergy things at the same time everyone's mowing their lawn around me. So if I just start this progress value off, like what even is it? It's literally 16 over 200 into the future. That's one tick. 0.08. Start offset. I guess I will say I should I'll do it here. Yeah. Particle scale start offset. This is a constant that is 16 over particle duration, which ends up being 0.08, and then scale. Is there a better way to do this? This thing over 0.92. This is essentially... Oh, that's not right. I guess I'll clamp again. It's progress times that. Scale progress offset. Scale progress scale. 0, 1. Okay. So it multiplies it by this 0.92 plus 0.08. This is my scale progress. So yeah, I guess it's gonna start at like 0.08 and then go to 1.0. That's what I want it to do. Let's see if I have that same little issue now. Let's look at it one more time. Little starting. Hey, it's not the right position either. Oh, that one was... Uh-oh. Could that be a float 64 issue? Hey, but now it looks right again. This is kind of concerning. I could force it to check for float 64 issues. First of all, that is what I wanted. Looks more correct. I think it's fine that it doesn't start exactly on the staff. Okay, let's force it to check for float 64 issues. In the bind manager, when I create it, I'm gonna add like, let's add an hour of gameplay. What is that? An hour of gameplay is 16 minutes times 60 seconds times 1,000 milliseconds. Okay. I don't think I need the time value in the shader, so I do not care. This guy, when I update transparent particle system, I'm just gonna subtract, or wait, add that. Whoops. Let's see what happens. That's right. No float 64 issues. That's a little bit concerning how it happened that one time. Yeah, I don't know what could have been happening. Well, anyways, I have my scale value. It's not right at all. It is something like maybe 4 times too big. That is maybe too small. And maybe I think it definitely doesn't have enough particles anymore. It doesn't have very many particles anyways, actually. I'm surprised it looks as solid as it does. I do think that's too small. Maybe I'll just go with times 0.5. And let me try... I'll make like 6 particles per frame. I think that's okay. It's not exactly the precise skill shot I was imagining, but... Alright. Now this is basically done onto this shader. This is what I'm really not looking forward to. Yeah, I don't even know how to do this. I could treat all of these like actual circles. I think I will maybe need a direction associated with them. And then I can calculate a texture coordinate along that direction on the circle. I don't really know what to do with that. For now, let me just try smooth stepping this to like 1.0. Yep, looks really bad. Looks like what I'd expect though. The starting one is weird. Oh, I know why. I didn't think about this. Because I'm offsetting into the future, the scale actually, if the progress is 0, the scale has to be 0. So that's the scale progress, which starts at 0.08, and so 0 in progress, something like this. Progress over the offset. Gonna be some giant value. So basically, with this, the first frame should be 0, the second frame should be 1. I'll just do this. See, did it fix it? Yeah. Wait, but no, that's not one frame. Oh, because it's rendering. Yeah, think about that. It does not really matter what value I choose here. This can just be 1. Or, I mean... 0 in duration. Which is just 200. Sure. Wait. 0 in duration. Yeah, that's fine. Is there some reason you start the game on that screen instead of gameplay? No. Actually, no. I don't know. Maybe I should start on gameplay. I guess I will. Sometimes I do want it to be on that screen. And I did set it up so I can click instantly without waiting on the text, so it doesn't really add much issue, but you're probably right. And I think no, it does have logic to it. No, but not really. It's just selecting immediate. I don't know. Yeah, let me check real quick. The scenes do specific things, but so the loading scene, it creates some sprite stuff, maybe loads hat scene. So this is the issue, is the maybe load hat scene. This maybe loads all the scenes so that when you click any button, it instantly goes. I need to figure out. This should be destroyed at some point. Maybe it's just not yet. Yeah, it's not yet. Okay, so I don't care about that actually. And even if it does get destroyed, it should be like here, which is fine. So yeah. Update, scene loading, select scene. I guess I just say gameplay to do title. Or what's it called? Title. I mean, everything should be in control of its own resources, so yeah. There you go. Now to try to find a way to make this look less shit, which is going to be extremely hard, I think. So first, what I'm going to do... I'm not even sure. I think I'm going to give this thing... It already has Perlin Worley. Graphics Manager. So this guy? No. This guy? Doesn't it? It does not. I want to give this 3D texture to the transparent particle system. I'll call it this, I guess. Or let's call it correctly what it is, I guess. The transparent particle system now has this texture. Ooh, 2-second time save every test run. Well, actually, yeah, that might be about right. Because it did transition in. It had a fade in. The actual time for the text to fall down didn't matter. But yeah, the fade in was about 1 second, so. The cloud texture, what is this? That already is 3D. Maybe I can use that. Poof clouds. That shouldn't be 3D, actually. But it's okay. And see, even the poof clouds should actually be opaque in the new deferred rendering pipeline. So what I'm gonna do is calculate the position in world space of each particle, pretending that it's a sphere. Something else does that, and I want to find that something instead of doing it myself. Almost all of this stuff is doing it, but I don't want to rotate it. This math distorts the sphere around the edge of the screen. Projection measures isn't being considered. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to take one of the rotated spheres and unrotate it. Oh, this looks correct. Looks really simple. I should not be inverse viewing every fragment. Maybe I'll fix that real quick. That's easy to fix. A lot of this is not right. Whoops. I didn't type it. That in map 4. Alright, this is inverse view. Guess you get it too. Oops. All right. Should do it. The V-type is flat. You know, with the V-type being flat, I don't actually have to check it this way, but it's already there. That's my sphere position. You're rotating this position by the inverse view. That's probably right. Huh? Why would I do this? Let's not do that. Right? Am I crazy? This just has to be interesting. How often do I do that? Only one other place. There's probably a legacy reason that's like that. Slightly too loud. Okay. So I have, this is the actual position of this thing. I can sample my texture, I guess. Texture sample. It's weird though that it's a 3D texture, but it's sampling it only on the surface. That's not really right. If I were to actually sample it multiple times throughout the sphere, there's kind of actually no reason why I can't. That would be a little bit weird. I might end up doing that. That might be the only way to get like 3D particles to look good. And Worley. Sample it like this. .r. I think I have to say maybe and clamp it or something. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens. Don't see noise. Let's just write this as the opacity value, and it might be related to this. Let's just not do that for now. Okay. Really no noise. I guess I think this noise texture is saved as a PNG. Let me check it out. Here it is. Yeah, it's very white. I think there's a way in Photoshop to check the color range. I think it's like a histograph or something. I don't know where that option is though. Analysis. Threshold maybe? Yeah, this is good enough. So yeah, the threshold, it's about 0.5. So it's probably in my interest to take this thing. Well, what data do I want exactly? See, I don't even know what I want this to look like. If I want it to look like frost, I think I could pick a range. This might be a good range between like 192 and 218. This is awkward to do. 218, 192. Some tiny ass value. It's a float. Texture sample. Is this how you do it? I think so, right? This one, no. This one is minus 192. You scale it up by... That's also not right. This over whatever this comes out to be. And then this whole thing I think I can just clamp. So I think this is capturing this texture value within the range of 192 to 218. I did it really fast though. I don't know if that's right. I see really, really transparent white. Did I do it not? Did I do it wrong? No. This is some big ass. I guess let me do it in steps, even though I think this is right. So this basically puts 192 as the 0 point. Now I guess I should multiply it by a scale. Oh, was that my problem? That was my problem. Yeah, I have to this is some large number, so I have to multiply it by this scale. And then I'll clamp it. Okay, doesn't look right at all. I think the fact that some of them show up this way though, some of them are like transparent at the same position, might be right. So it might be an issue with how I'm sampling it. In fact, I still don't know why I'm doing this. It should just be I'm drawing this probably not even into the opacity, but into the color. I should be able to see something. And this is probably really the problem. 1.0 is a reasonable sample scale, so I don't really want to change that right now. Yeah, so that is probably the problem. V position XY. Let me see what's happening with that. A position. That's probably okay. Alright, if I want to sample more points on this thing, I need to, I think, multiply this by something like 10. Does not look right. It looks to me like it's only sampling a single point, which is very odd. Yeah, otherwise it looks right. Maybe I did it wrong. I'll divide by 10 just to see what happens. Oh, I actually kind of see the noise now. A little bit. But that makes me think this is not right. It's smoothing it out. I kind of want it to not be smooth, so pretty certain my code to reconstruct the world position is just not right. Yeah, it's way too smooth. This is probably not the right way to do it anyways, but... I already have code to reconstruct this. In fact, let me just rip that code directly. Not rip it, but this should depend on it. Reconstruct position. Okay, and this requires a screen space coordinate, which... How do you get that? That would be in like the light particle shader. Could you... Hey, what's up? Is the networking part straightforward? Do you send the packets in batches? I send the packets in batches, yes. The networking part is pretty straightforward. Straightforward enough that I can probably just show it real quick. I have my struct of packets along with packet types, which I don't know if this is how I would do it again, but anyways, and then this is basically my struct of all the packets in the game. And what happens is you have a packet accumulate, then the client just has a switch. A switch? What do you mean? How does this work? I haven't. On the type? Yeah. The client doesn't, the server does, yeah. Well, they both do, yeah. What is this called? This is client packets. That's not, it's a... I forgot the name of the thing. Should be a networking folder. Packet client. Yeah, so this is just the code to kind of buffer the packets. So whenever I add a packet, yeah, they're all plain old data. So you just get the packet size, lock the mutex, reserve the space, memcopy it, increment it. And then eventually you send them. That's all that happens. And yeah, in the packet processor on the server, for example. Hey, thanks for following. Check out Fat Goblins. Oh, the bot's not working now. Hey, this looks like Jason Manager's info. Thanks, man. Yeah, and the packet processor on the server. This bit is compile time generated to ensure... I don't remember. Oh, it compile time calculates the packet size and based on an enum of everything. Yeah, sure. And yeah, then it just processes them all. There you go. Yeah, you got it earlier, but I just wanted to go through it for the stream. So something calculates the screen position. This is it. Screen size. Uh-oh. I don't have this. This complicates it. Let me think for a second, hang on. Okay, so I think this is avoidable. So this is getting, that was getting the screen coordinates between 0 and 1. I think. Probably. So I can do that myself as a varying whatever vec2. Something like this. Because the end result of all of this is the position on the screen. Which this is clip space. Wait, I'm actually not so sure. Yeah. It's after you multiplied by the projection matrix. I think you want to divide by W. So that's why I'm like really uncertain at the moment. So I guess I can say this dot xy is clip space dot xy over clip space dot w. Wait, that is what xy. So I'm extremely not sure about this. So I'm gonna try to debug this first. The frostbite particle, the color is just gonna be this 0. So if I did it right, when I shoot it to the top left corner of my screen, or bottom left or something. Oh, I didn't do it right. Okay, let's see first of all. Green, green, red, red. Okay, so this is part of the problem. Wait. Isn't it supposed to be from -1 to 1? How is it? Wait, it's updating as I walk around. No, it's not. So I almost have it correct. First of all, though, the red value should be X. This is not the bug I would have expected. This is really not the bug I would have expected. I wonder, is there an easier way to debug this? Let me ignore this whole thing for now. I want to go into something like the grass shader. I guess it's just called grass shader. I'm going to do the same thing. Wait. This is actually just the color? No, not really. Out vec2 v screen. Do remove. This will help me debug it a little bit. Clip space. Now the diffuse value, oh, normal is nothing. I want the diffuse value to be flat is the reason. Screen 0, 1. Let's see if that works. Okay. Oh, the red the red is correct. Surprisingly, this actually is just correct, I think. I don't know which corner is supposed to be 0, 0, if it's the top left or the bottom left. I love the compile times. Yeah, Jai is great. My compile times are actually relatively slow compared to what Jai typically is. I've done a bunch of fucked up stuff that is not advised. Well, it works. I'm trying to think of a way how I can further debug the next step, which is the coordinate system. Center is 0, 0. Center is not 0, 0. 0, 0 is either that's what 0, 0 is either top left corner or bottom left corner. Because this thing is expecting a coordinate as if you were sampling a texture across the screen, not actual screen, what's it called? Not actual clip space coordinates. You know what I can do? Okay, this will, so hang on, let me take a screenshot of this real quick so I don't have to redo this. Okay, I want all the corners in this screenshot and colored. So like this screenshot. Okay, let's undo this now. Looks black in the left quadrant of my screen. Hang on. You're right, actually, but yeah, actually, you're right. You're right. Good point. Yeah, so it's this. This is going from, yeah, negative 0.5 to 0.5. So maybe just this. Wait, that still kind of does look black though. Am I dumb? Let me check it. Maybe I'm not right this time. That is black. But that doesn't make sense. What if I do this? What happens? I mean, the clip space is, it does go between negative 0.5 and 0.5 for the X and Y. Maybe, yeah, maybe the W divide is not needed. Okay, that's really not right now. Interesting. Hang on one second. I have to open my door for my dog. Okay, it's time to consult ChatGPT real quick. In the vertex shader, the coordinates given to geo position. Oh wait, I know why I don't have to do this. They go from -1 to 1. What am I doing? So yeah, it's times 0.5 plus 0.5. That should do it. I don't know why I was thinking -0.5 to 0.5. How can I see all the corners at once, please? There we go. Okay, let's check them. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yay. Now what I want to do, I'm going to undo this. And then in some paths, like the sharpen pass. Hey, puppy. I already have this coordinate. This coordinate is what I'm trying to match. So it is v-chord 0, 0. I think it's not sharpening. Sharpening. Okay, it is right. That is the same as what we just saw. I don't even need to check. I'm surprised I don't have to flip the y coordinate. I'm very surprised. So that's good to go. So the logic was this times 0.5 plus 0.5, right? Yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Okay. Now I have my screen coordinate in my shader. I should be able to get this position pretty easily. The problem is the depth of it. I can calculate that myself. So the depth of it is, it's a curve that's like a 90-degree thing. Where at 0, it's 1, and at 1, it's 0. At 0, its actual curve is 0. Let me stop. And then at 1, its actual curve is perfectly infinity. Time to go back to Desmos. I don't think this should be hard. Actually, I will stream it though. It might be hard. That's not it. Man. Okay, hang on. What tab is that even it's showing? Okay. Just get rid of all this. I'm done with this. Let's see. This should not be that smushed. Tangent or something? Arc cosine, how do you do it? Sine -1. No. What would this be? It's not a real function because it doesn't have to be perfect either. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Why is this so hard to do? 1 minus x. Fuck! Okay, there. Very close. Oh no, it's this thing. I have to open. God, my dogs. I might lock him out of my room. Go me. Come on. This is not exactly the equation I want. But it's really close. Trying to think whether or not it should actually be perfect. Okay, I think I already did this in the light particle shader. I have this equation with the correct math, which is... Oh. That's not right. What if I say 2 to the power of x? Yeah, that's really close. Fixing this so that... I think essentially to do this more correctly then, I have to make x something that goes to infinity as it approaches something like 1. So... 1 minus x. This is not quite as simple as I planned on this being. So this would be, we'll say a of x. Can I drag it? Okay. Which one is the one that looks promising? Wait, they both look good. I think this one would work better with a curve of just the x value because it, yeah, looks really smooth for some reason. So... this is kind of a too complicated of an equation for what I'm trying to do. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, going back to this then. I just need to find the values that correctly flatten this thing, which I have found before, but I'm not going to be able to figure out where I used it. Oh man, I think it's time to plug it into Wolfram Alpha. Right? Yeah. Okay, so this is basically my equation. I'm going to rewrite this. What is it? Y equals 2 minus 1 over 2 minus x. 1 over 2 minus x. Okay. So I need some constants. Wait, it's not even this simple, is it? Because if I change these things... Oh, it is that simple. I need some constants. I'll call it A and A so that at... This has to be 1, this has to be 0. It has to solve for A. Is that all I have to do? I want the approximate form. That doesn't look right to me. 1.618. So that's not where it goes. Okay. That doesn't look right at all, though. I guess I have to come up with this value first. I feel like I'm really not doing this right. It's something like the arctangent, actually. What are you trying to solve here, Kuju? Basically, I guess, to summarize it, I'm trying to get the slope of a curve on a quadrant of a circle. So yeah. Arctan equation. It might be this. Can I say this and then it'd be like cos of x over sine of x? Wait. Like a hill? Yeah, but specifically... Specifically a hill that at y equals 1 is infinity. The slope is infinity. And I also don't want the equation to be too complicated. So I think the first step is I need to, yeah, so something like this, if I were to just take this cosine value and maybe, so this is essentially, let's multiply this by 1.9 times 0.5. And then I think it would be like 1 over this. Except this is just the slope. So now I would have to convert this. So this is actually it, I'm pretty sure. Right? And now this is just the slope. I have to convert this into depth. So I would want to keep it in this form. This is the actual slope. Guess that minus 1. And I'll call this a of x or something. Just get rid of this stuff. Okay, so let's say you have a radius value of like 4. It would be 4 minus... It really trips me up that it goes all the way to infinity. How do you use that? It's like... I don't even know. I kind of needed to go... Yeah, I don't know. This is not it, but... think this division by 1 is not right. I guess if I'm actually just solving for the radius offset, like the depth radius offset, it would just be this. And no, the curve doesn't look right. When it goes towards 1, it should actually get to an infinite slope. But then it should pass through 1 with its infinite slope, which I guess that doesn't make sense. Why is this so hard to figure out? It's actually just math. It's actually, yeah. More or less, I would just be needing to calculate the angle at that point, and then it's the sine value of that. So isn't that what arctangent is? Wait, what is... Oh, cotangent? Wait, what? Is that... What is this? Is that a typo? Is that a real thing? Oh, wait. So this is just the offset of... Oh. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for. I think. Slope at theta is a negative cosine x over sine x, which is negative cotangent. Is that what you want? Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure, yeah. Okay, I don't know what this is doing. Let me look at this then. Pretty sure this is right. Well, however, I'll do times 2.14549 times 2.5. I mean, it still doesn't make sense to me, though, as a slope. Because... Huh? Doesn't make sense either. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right, but... How do I use this? I don't know. I can't think about it right now for some reason. I'm just gonna give it some arbitrary incorrect value and fix it later. This shouldn't be hard. I don't know why this is taking so long to do. Like, this isn't the function I want exactly, though, because I don't... Like, this is right. Converting this into a value doesn't use this function, it seems to me. Unless maybe it does have to do with sine, but... Okay. It would have to do with, like, arc sine or something. There's no reason to make it this complicated. So... I'm going to give it a really basic equation, so hang on. Okay. Radial depth is 1 minus this. Something like that. Which is what this is, more or less. So then you take this. That's the sphere position. So actually that's right. This, but yeah. This is the sphere position and local space. So then you would take this and you would, this is the problem with going back and touching code we haven't touched in like a year. Add the actual world position of this to it and then reconstruct. I guess I'll do this. This needs a inverse projection matrix. I'm surprised I retained so many viewers through that segment of really not progressing horrible math. So it's the screen coordinate, the depth sample. The depth sample might throw me off. The screen coordinate, the depth sample, the inverse view, the inverse projection. V screen. This should be the depth sample. The inverse view. Hey, Alden. Wait, is it Alden? For some reason I thought it was an I before. Yeah, not really. Today I woke up feeling super fucked up because of a combination of a bunch of things related to allergies, but we're making progress. So I'm gonna sample using this now. Like messing around with Desmos? Okay. Maybe I'm actually building a following that's interested in math related things. That would be good. I feel like doing things from scratch with game development, you end up doing so much stuff that's like really typically not interesting to look at. Okay. I'm still printing, the color is still this. That's the problem. Let's make the color this. XYZ. Well, it doesn't need a Y. Wait. It should be like that. It's easier to look at. Good luck, hey sushi. Good luck what? Good luck in general. Yeah, the original sushi. That's not right. That is right. Inverse view, inverse projection. The depth sample, I think more than likely this has to maybe be negative. Let's just try it. That doesn't make sense actually now I'm thinking about it. Okay. So the depth sample is actually... Oh, everything is bad. Basically, I have to take my view matrix and I have to figure out how along the forward direction this is. So I'm making this way complicated. The view forward. I don't like this code anymore. So it would be vec3 of the v inverse view times a vec4 that is 0, 0, negative 1, 0. That is your forward direction. I think. Way back down here. Now I have this, and so for depth, I don't know, is the dot product of this thing, and I need the camera position. There's probably a better way to do this. Is there already a camera position? It doesn't look like it. Feels real bad. I can't do this way. It's too much random code. I'm gonna have to remove this actually. Yeah, feels really bad to write this. So that's the depth, which is a positive value, which I still don't know about, but... Oh, doing math, I see. That's how do you do your math? Joe does already math there. Why not use math for this? Wait, I missed something. Everyone pronounces something differently. It's fine. Correct pronounce Al and Aldine. Aldine. Okay. Hey, the bot finally came back alive. I don't really need a math lib because most things are not very complicated. And using a math library, you have to memorize the stuff anyways. So I either have to memorize the math or I have to memorize the library. What did I do wrong? Undefined. Oh. Wait, no. Where did this not exist? What? V forward is a vec3 of the inverse view times some random vector undefined variable v inverse view. Am I crazy? Oh. Whoops. Some of them are not capitalized V's. Only reason to use a math library is if it has SIMD constructs. Yeah, that's true. I do want that. I haven't done that yet. I probably never will. Okay, so here's this. Probably correct values, but it's still black, which makes me think more than likely the depth value is supposed to be negative. I'm not sure about that though. Okay, it's still black. Well, time to remove all this anyways. I'm absolutely not doing this. There's so many matrix things going on. So many new... All this shit I didn't need before. It's absurd to do this in the particle shader. I'm finding a new way to do it. And this is where all my time goes. I don't even need this anymore, actually. Oh wait, the inverse view I needed. Okay, let me stick that back. That was an optimization. Something here used it. I feel like I fucked something up. Hang on. No? Ah. Yes, this was needed. That's not my code. Okay. That gets deleted. It's not my code from today. No projection. Inverse view stays. This gets deleted. All right. Back to this. This was probably very close to right. That was why that code stayed. What is this? This can kind of just go here. I don't want to write into that because that affects the actual depth value, which I don't want, I think. Let's just try this. Inverse view. Man, where'd my V go? That works. It works, but I know this is not technically correct. It doesn't take into consideration the perspective matrix, but that's fine. It's very fast relative to everything else. So I should be able to sample this, get this value, and stick it in here as a color. But I already did this once. Oh, it actually works now. Noise. I have noise. Noise that for some reason looks like it's vibrating. Okay. How should this work? So it is sorting all these things by depth, so all of them will get drawn. So that's good. Let me try, first of all, just making the opacity 0.5. Or no, not quite. Let's make, yeah. The opacity goes back to being the smooth step of the circle SDF times the texture sample. All right, I'm gonna grab another water, and this is a good chance to, I have to get my dog out of my room. He's being very needy. Okay, it looks like noise. It actually doesn't look that bad. I think it's sticking with the environment, which it shouldn't be. So, back. I'll be right back real quick. Okay, I'm back. Hey, new to the stream, am Nacho. Hi Nacho, cool game, thanks. This game is being made from scratch, so if you want to see from scratch game development, it will be interesting. If you don't want to see from scratch game development, it will be very boring. Okay. I'm going to try to do this without sampling volumetrically from the texture. So let me go back to this. I think this was the right idea. I think it's the right idea. Maybe I have it backwards. I guess. Oh wait, but this isn't the alpha value. This is the blackness value. Now let's try it anyways. I want it to be mostly black, or yeah. Okay. It's kind of weird, but I can make it work. So yeah, this thing does have to, I already have the velocity in here, don't I? This is frost bind particle. Yes, and the velocity is this, which gets passed here as the v velocity and v direction. Which one do I want to use? I think v direction makes the most sense. Oh, and I also have a time offset. Wait, no I don't. Transparent, generic, transparent particle shader. So yeah, there is no time offset. I wonder, how did I previously do that when I need a time offset? Like, things have to know. I guess it doesn't matter, because there's a uniform for time offset. Okay, yeah, that would work. So sample offset is something like u time times v direction, and that's correct, but I'll just use this for now. This can actually accumulate an error. So solving that is very hard. Okay, it does shoot forward. It also looks really bad. I think because of the opacity. Oh, not really. Oh my god. Yeah, it looks really bad. I mean, I think it's like 100 times too fast, but that's not really the problem. Ugh, God. I think it's because it's some continuous noise function. I don't think that's how this needs to work. I just don't know how to do this. It's some continuous noise function. It has to be a bunch of different particles. So you have to have like a particle in the center that just goes in a straight line and is really simple looking. And then you have to have like maybe some mesh particles that kind of branch off the edge. Let me just try that. So I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. This is just some sample. This is the center. It becomes really tiny. Looks really bad, but there you go. I think it should be basically opaque. And now I have to have another particle. Let me try something else. I'm going to create a bunch more particles that like double the amount, and they're going to get slightly random vectors. That's actually a direction. Yeah, I think it's actually a direction. I guess I can just get 0 to 1. This is kind of... yeah, it's not great to do. Fuck, okay, hang on, thanks. Is it fixed? Test, okay. Man, I hate that that happens. I kind of need these to be orthogonal. No, because they're actually supposed to be random. Random get 0 to 1 open. Wait, what is new? Get better results. Was this recent? I don't remember seeing this in any notes. Gives better results at what cost? Like, why did it not just replace the original algorithm months ago? Huh, I'm surprised I just noticed it. Because behaviors are the same. How is behavior not the same? Is this in is this in the notes somewhere? Like in one of the emails? You ever program with, oh, I see what you're saying, for seeds. That's, I feel like a bad reason. I think. I feel like it should be deprecated after a certain point in time. Seems like a fine reason, but like you're saying that he's gonna keep 2 forever? If it's just strictly a better random algorithm, I think I will be deprecated eventually, probably. Oh, okay, I mean, that's fair then. Let's do randomly times 0.2, add this offset. This is so stupid. So that's what it looks like. I mean, honestly, it looks better than what I had before. So here's some random stuff that's hopefully going to get turned into frosts somehow. Man, I don't know how to do this. It feels like I have to do like a depth pre-pass for this. Because I have all these particles that are kind of spheres. Well, oh, there it goes again. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna predict right now that unless I spend a long time looking into this and actually studying other particle algorithms for things like wind and frost, this is never gonna look good. So, I'm changing this. How should this work? Let's make an icosphere. This is fine, but maybe it could be even less. I think this is fine. Maybe. It's probably has to be like this. Uh-oh. The bottom is flat. I guess I could fix that. Okay. Kind of lopsided. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Now let's try to modify it. None of this. Oh, displace. There it is. I need RGB colors though. Anything that doesn't offer RGB is not what I want. This one might be good. Hmm. Maybe not good. I think I'm gonna do this. What I'm gonna do is take this thing at 1.0 and actually find something that kind of makes sense, like this, I think. I don't know what this value does at all. And I'm gonna export this. And then I'm gonna edit it myself. What? I can't export it? Oh no. Maybe I can make a texture out of it? Oh man. New texture. There we go. That's not it. What? I don't know how you can export this. You can't. Man. Well, okay. I don't technically need this. I can just do actual clouds with color. Just didn't want to do this. What is this? Okay. Maybe this is correct. Direction is RGB to XYZ. Oh, but oh well. It doesn't matter that it's offsetting it. I guess I can go with normal value then. Right? Yeah. So if I am going with the normal value, I don't actually have to have color. It could be grayscale. It doesn't have to be hard either. See, it looks so not right. Probably because of the size of the texture, actually. kind of look better than it did before, a little bit. Yeah, let's just apply that and edit it a little bit more. Well, good enough. I'll try to use this. So my goal is to construct some ice line entirely with basically these. And I need to rotate it to be aligned like this. This is an ice shard. Yeah, but it's gonna be coming off of some line of ice because this is kind of a really bad reason to do it. It's just that I don't think I can get the actual frost effect looking good enough, but that is such a bad reason. Well, let me save it. Assets abilities. Frostbind shard. I don't know if I'm gonna do this yet. I'm gonna skip this ability. I'll leave it as I have it, but I just need to figure out how to make the actual wind look correct. It's probably not going to be the first time this comes up. Okay, next ability. Ice ground. Let me check that out. The problem is, if I was off stream, I would actually just start working on this. But I know that this round of giving mod, everyone's like, "See your channel is insane." Wait, is that why I got recommended to you? You're a mod because you watch Moo Moon. There was a game jam where I had to mod everyone for my game to work. Actually, I plan to go through and remove everyone from being a mod like this weekend. But for one of the game jams, I had a multiplayer thing set up through my own Twitch chat. And people were getting like shadow banned from my Twitch chat because they were spamming data as packets. So I had to make a script to just mod everyone. Yeah. Alright, next ability. Frost Mage. I'm still annoyed I can't make the fucking wind look correct. God, it's actually so annoying, man. So, Frost Nova. I will have an ability manager for this too. I wonder if that is getting recommended to people. Maybe I shouldn't remove everyone as a mod. Are you still here, Rafnat? Do you watch anyone else on Twitch? Well, I mean you do, but do you watch anyone else in the game development section? Time, position, there's no direction to this. Game development? No. No programming streams you watch at all? And I do want to give the goblin, I guess. Something like this. Not really. Maybe you are getting recommended because you're a mod. Interesting. This also has to have particles, you know, now that I think about it. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, this has no particles for now. I don't know how to do it. I really, really don't know how to do it. I'm gonna have to research this. But it will be easy enough to actually figure this part out, so... yeah, this is gonna have the damage identifier. And, okay, it's gonna be the same way an explosion works. Wait, what? I don't see where this is doing anything. The explosion manager should be checking for damages. I guess, I mean, maybe it's in the fireball because the fireball is the only thing that can explode. Add AoE damage. Okay, so this is how it works. Hey Goms, you get the accurate sphere shape. That's probably necessary, the sphere transform. Basically, I just do this. Although, it's not a sphere. Add particles. This is Frost Nova position. It has a radius, but the radius is going to be like 1 minus x times, no wait. Okay. That's not right either. I guess the radius, it's not really square root of x either. I wish the game could look today. Thanks, man. I didn't really get it recommended, and I meant to check the channels I was mod on. Ah, okay. Yep. I have 20,000 mods. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, I have to go through and fix it. No, my dog just yelped. Hang on. Oh man, there's so many distractions today. Do Wishlist help promote the game in some way? Yeah, they do. On Steam, games that are wishlisted basically just get promoted directly based on the number of wishlists they have. That's all there is to it. I think it's gonna be... yeah, this looks good to me. So the equation of the radius... I don't know where to put functions. Frost Nova radius. It is 1 minus x minus 1 progress minus 1 times progress minus 1. It should be like 8 or something. So I guess I'll call it radius progress. All right, and here's my sphere transform. Transform by the position, scale it by radius progress. I don't know exactly how the vertical part of this should work. Progress. And that gives you the radius, I think. Yeah, I think I don't want the verticalness of it to scale up. In fact, actually, oh shit. There's a radius and there's like a radial thickness. Frost nova thickness. Half thickness. I'll leave it as 1. We'll see how this goes. And man, okay, I cannot check it this way, can I? Yeah. This is not a convex shape anymore. I'm basically testing like a donut. So this is how it has to work now. I need an AABB of my donut. I'll call it this. So it's the position. I'm gonna just work with the Y values first of all. So the Y value is always the half thickness. Yep. This one is slightly more complicated because it's actually basically radius plus the half thickness. And that's same for Z and same for upper. So here's my AABB. I'll do it in this order. So I guess I'm just going to be intersecting this exactly with the goblin line because doing anything else with the actual donut is going to be too expensive and hard. Yeah. Enemy team is get enemy team. If the goblin's not on the enemy team, continue. I don't care about the vertices or the GJK. Or the hit goblins. Okay. Goblin closest point. Goblin last position, and vertical progress is... I should have a goblin height value, which is, I think the goblin's something like 1.75 tall. So, gotta head out, go to the frost mage effects and things, sushi. I'm sure it's not gonna go well. And then I'll do a bunch of research tonight, and tomorrow it'll probably go well. So, yep. Vertical progress is Frost Nova position minus this guy dot y. Clamp this over the goblin height to 0 and 1. Okay. I think I want to say this after this. And then this y value, multiply this back by itself times... Okay, so this is essentially clamping... It's getting the nearest point to the Frost Nova on this limited 1.75 line. Yeah, looks right to me. Now I guess I can call it Frost Nova closest point is... I'll get the direction. It would be the goblin last position minus the Frost Nova position. Take that delta y value, set it to 0, normalize it, and then multiply it by the current radius. This is the delta offset from the origin, so add back the center position. Do you game development as a day job? What's your background? Yeah, I do it as a day job. Before this, I worked at Oculus. I did graphics development, kind of on a graphics engine, but for this Oculus system, a system level graphics engine. But yeah, this is what I do now. Work. Thanks for the follow. About if it's greater than this, continue. If the closest point on the goblin and the closest point to the Frost Nova. Okay, so now they actually collide. Okay, now we freeze them in place. I'm trying to think where this should happen. I mean, first of all, I think there needs to be a separate type of manager. Or what would it even be called? Ice grounds. The problem is that eventually this is gonna happen on the server. I guess it just has a position. It has a position and it has a start. I guess that's all it has. That should be another manager. Multiple things can cause an ice ground. Okay. Another manager. No Frost Nova. I think that could be something. Don't really need these. Don't need that. Yeah, this is going to be weird to make it interact correctly with all my other systems. If this is great, okay, that's fine. I don't really need this. Or do I? No. It goes in the render method actually now. Okay. Now everything that's ice ground gets removed from here. That's it. This ice ground manager, add ice ground. Time, last position. So at their feet, is that all I do? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Where should this go? So it's if it's a client. This is because it's not on the server yet. So if the Frost Nova is a client Frost Nova, then you're checking for these guys, and then for each goblin, if can, this has to be a pointer. If there's no damage identifier, claim damage identifier. I don't remember the syntax. So this is something to ensure people don't get damaged twice by the same abilities. Time duration, that's it. Time, and I'll just give it that time times 2. Probably fine. Goblin damage identifier. Easy enough. How would I add the damage? Because this thing doesn't actually damage them. I wonder if that's allowed. I haven't thought about that. Oh, damn, it adds it into damage immunity. So, I mean, it could damage them by like a quarter heart, but should it? So my options are I myself add it into the damage immunity, or I add damage with a damage amount of 0. Which it would cause them to grunt. I think I might add a quarter heart of damage. don't really know. I mean, at the very least, this should be something like, yeah, and the amount is greater than 0. This also, you know, really actually, if amount, just return. Because otherwise it's also showing his health. Yeah. Sending the damage packet with a damage amount of 0. I think it's fine. Add damage to the goblin. What is it? It needs client damage identifier time 0. False, false, false. Okay. True time. You should have to specify these yourself, I feel like. Goblin client damage identifier time is 0. These don't matter, actually. Okay. And then you add the ice ground. That looks fine to me. Let me add these into the actual game. This is Frost Nova Manager update. Ice Cream Manager update. All these, I guess, should get rendered. Okay. I have not really used this before. Well, not much. So if you set the model instances, it does clear it. Set instances. Yes, okay. That's reasonable. It takes a matrix or what? It takes a T, which I think in my instance model, I have my own thing. Yes, a matrix. Okay. All right, that's fair. Transforms allocator is temp. I'm gonna get this working, which is almost working, and I'm probably just gonna host someone to do this off stream because I am not feeling 100%, but this is almost working. Yeah, so I just have to go through these. I do need a function. I'll just figure it out myself because this function is not going to be reused. So the progress is I'll clamp it again. That's the progress of the current ice ground. So the ice ground has to shoot up really fast. So vertical progress. I guess I can just say, no, I want to do it on my own. So vertical duration, like 100 milliseconds. Oh, is this stream lagging again? Because I just heard the lag. So there's the vertical progress. Now the transform of this thing. Translate this thing by the ice ground position and scale it. I guess it's 1.0 vertical progress 1.0 is kind of how I'm imagining it. And then set instances of the ice ground model. Shoot, I've been stuck at work all day and couldn't watch. Ah, dang. How's it going, man? Well, today's just not going well because I'm trying to do a bunch of frost abilities and it's completely a different type of particle from everything else I've done in this game so far. So I'm gonna have to do some research off stream before I actually get started on real progress. So it might not even be tomorrow, depending on how badly this goes. Set the instances and I just draw, I think. This might just work. I want to check one thing real quick because I'm pretty sure. Well, that's fine. Let's see how this goes. Whoops, why did I type it that way? Progress, yeah. This actual progress value is never used. Wait, what? It's the Frost Nova. Transform to ABB. It's because I'm constructing my own ABB. Yep. Add damage. Really? Goblin client. Oh, the time comes before damage comes before time. Add damage. So this guy goes there. Okay, I just didn't add this yet. This is my thread safety meta program thing telling me I have to lock a mutex. So there's no particles yet for the actual Ice Nova, Frost Nova, but oh, he gets frozen. It looks good too. Looks good, but way too big. And some of the... It comes up too slowly. Also should fade out. Which means... it's kind of tricky. I'll try it. The difference in the actual time and the update in the render method might screw this up. I don't know how I should do this. Maybe I got in duration and out duration. Like it shouldn't just pop out like it did either. The alpha could change, but that doesn't seem right either. Out duration, let's try just like kind of slowly letting it. Yeah. So this is that right? No. This is the delta time. This is the time progressing towards the end. So this would be the time in, this would be the time out. So the vertical progress is the in progress times out progress. I don't know if I want to change it in Blender, maybe. Probably I do. Yeah. In fact, let me open a goblin. Something like that looks good to me. To export just this thing I have selected. Selected only, yes, normals, triangulate, no material, ice ground. Let's try it again. That looks, maybe, that looks too tiny. I can't even see it, really. I didn't think about that. It's like this. Maybe this has to be more vertical. Okay, I did apply the transforms, right? Yes. Let's export that. Same settings. Looks okay. Yeah, see the fade out? You can see the fade out snaps at the end. That's not good. I don't know if it's a lack of particles or what. This also looks bad, actually. I think two things need to happen. So... Work. Thanks for the follow. Anduin. The two things that need to happen. This vertical progress, I think, has to continually get something added to it. So now I do want just progress. Except, okay, hang on. This is the overall progress. This gets something added to it and it'll increase by like 0.2 over the whole duration of its life. And then you multiply it by the out progress. So this will even clamp back down that. And then I actually want to remove them. I guess I'm allowed to do this. I want to remove them in the render method, which I don't think I do this typically. But the reason is that little tiny snap at the end. This would get rid of it, probably. So time is greater than or equal to ground start plus ice ground duration. Remove, continue. Okay. Whoops. I guess. Is that the problem? Did not match possible. What am I doing? Not right. Something is a vector 2? I think this has to do with the efficient remove, actually. But that doesn't make sense. Oh, I just didn't clamp. Whoops. Okay. I can barely see it continually moving up. And it doesn't look any better when it goes down like that. It really doesn't. The other things I could do would be, I mean, I guess it makes sense that it has that whole like circle radius, and then suddenly at some point it just goes to 0 and poof, it's gone. Let me try changing this to 0.5 so it gets way larger. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Does look decent. You still can't really tell though, it's going up. I think it's too linear. Don't know what it should be though. And you know, okay, here's what I'll do. I'm not gonna do the ease out. It's actually just gonna explode out. Okay. This is fine for what it is, I think. Unless... yeah, it's fine for what it is. Let me check it one more time. I'm gonna have it explode out with little particles, little ice particles. Yeah. It might be too much. Let me take this guy, scale him back slightly, back to how he was, like that. Export you back out. Progress times 0.5. Now that I did that, let's see what happens if I do 1. It's probably gonna be way too much. Dumb question. What does the remove keyword do? So the remove keyword does different things for... actually, 1 looks okay. Yeah, it looks fine. It does different things for different structs that you assign it to. So for array... actually, I don't know. For array, I think it does an ordered remove. For like hash table, they have their own definition. So it's defined in the for expansion of Jai. When you define your for expansion, you're defining exactly what happens when you say like for thing struct. And so this is the remove keyword. When you say remove, this code gets inserted into wherever you typed remove. So for my thing, I have something called an efficient remove, which just takes any array and essentially it goes through it just linearly, bit by like entry by entry, and if you say remove, it marks the thing as not should keep, and then it increments the check index. Yep. And this is deferred. This is kind of a weird way to do it. It's deferred because when it inserts this body code, which is this whole for struct, you're also allowed to, for example, say continue. So if I were to just take this block and put it after my body, it would never actually do this increment. So what's happening is it's just iterating everything once, incrementing these counts when it needs to remove things, and then at the very end, all it does is just update the count. So it's like a very, very efficient way to order to remove everything. Otherwise, if I were to actually call, like, the other method is array order remove by index, this actually goes through the array once, one entire time per thing. So it's like a nice little wrapper around that. Damn, that's nice. Yeah, I've been switching to the for expansion thing for lots of things. Even this is a really complicated thing. This query tree is basically a binary bounding tree. And I have a, what's it called? I think it is called binding tree. Yeah, so I have a for expansion on my query function. So you query the tree with a bounding box. It creates this bounding tree with the tree and the bounding box. And then when you for expansion it, it's actually just iterating the tree for you. And so otherwise, before I did this, I had to have like a function with a callback and a scope, and now it's just really, really simple. Anyways, the Frost Nova works. It doesn't freeze people. I'll put that in the to-do. Frost Nova needs to actually freeze people, so it needs to go on the server. The next thing I need to do, figure out how to make frost abilities look good. Okay, this I am for sure doing off stream. I don't know how to do this at all. So I'm gonna end my stream if I can find someone real quick to host, maybe. Following anyone streaming? Oh, see what he's Irish John Games. All right. Hosting Irish John Games. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, maybe not. I'll be back tomorrow or the day after, depending on how long this frost stuff takes me. But yeah, today was just not a good day to stream. All right. Yep.